Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the public forum for the selection of the next Dean of the Faculty of Management and Development Studies. I am Aurora Lacaste, the Chair of the Search Committee for the new FMDS Dean, and we are joined by the rest of the committee this afternoon, the members of which are Assistant Professor Luisa Helisan, she's at the back, here at the AVR, Ms. Hazel Irene Angela M. Yambao, Ms. Ana Maria Elizabeth Cañas Llamas, she's also here at the AVR. And then joining us in Zoom is Ms. Elsie Jean Cancino Besina. She is our student representative. And President's representative is Associate Professor Peter C. Before we proceed, we would like to acknowledge also the presence of our distinguished attendees, namely Chancellor Mel Bandalaria here at the AVR. Welcome, Chancellor. And also our Dean of the FMDS, Dean Joan Serrano. I think there are also other leaders joining us in our platforms. Hopefully we can introduce them later. We can mention their names when we go to the question and answer forum later. The purpose of today's forum is to provide a platform for the two nominees to share their plans and visions for FMDS and give you, our stakeholders, the opportunity to ask questions and engage in dialogue. We're grateful to all of you for joining us today, whether in person here at the UPOU AVR or virtually via Zoom and in our live stream platform. So to ensure a smooth flow for today's program, here are a few reminders. First, each nominee will have up to 30 minutes to present their plans and programs. After both presentations, we will proceed to a common question and answer session where nominees will respond to your questions. For those joining online, please type your questions in the Zoom Q&A box and then kindly indicate which nominee your question is directed to. Okay? And please maintain respect and professionalism throughout the forum. So now we are going to begin. Okay, may I introduce to you our first nominee. She is a seasoned academic with over 40 years of experience, currently serving as Professor 5 at the Faculty of Management and Development Studies, UP Open University. She holds a PhD in Engineering Geomatics from the University of Melbourne, Australia, as well as MS and BS degrees in Zoology from the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. Her extensive career includes leadership roles such as the Program Chair for the Diploma and Master of Environment and Natural Resources Management and Assistant to the Vice Chancellor for Finance and Administration at UPOU. She is recognized for her research and publications on environmental management, sustainable development, and cultural conservation. She has received multiple grants and awards, including the UP OVPAA International Publication Award and numerous creative grants from the National Commission for Culture and the Arts. Additionally, she is an advocate for public service, holding leadership roles in cooperative and academic organizations. Dr. Habito's career highlights her commitment to education, research, and community engagement. So na-mention ko na yung name niya, but please help me in warmly welcoming our first nominee, Dr. Consuelo Habito.
Thank you for that introduction, Dr. Au. I'd like to welcome everybody here at AVR. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. The chair of the search committee and the members also. I'd also like to welcome Chancellor Bandalaria and Dean Joan Serrano, who is here at the AVR. And of course, I'd like to welcome everybody. Ayan, dyan pala si Vice Chancellor Jean Saludades. Sino pa bang nandyan na mga officers? Meron pa ba? Mag-raise naman kayo ng hand kasi hindi ko kayo makita. Anyway, okay. So, let me start with my presentation. First of all, I would like to extend my deepest thanks to to all those who worked tirelessly in persuading me to offer myself to serve as the Dean of the Faculty of Management and Development Studies. You know who you are. And of course, to those who offered support and formally signed my nomination letter, I am deeply honored to accept this esteemed nomination as Dean of the FMDS. On a personal note, I must admit that accepting this nomination was not an easy decision for me. But after lengthy discussions with my family and finally securing their support, I have decided to offer myself to serve. As my retirement looms near, I recognize that this might very well be my last chance to pay it forward to the FMDS. As many of you know, I have been serving the university for 40 long years. I would just like to share with you a little bit of how I was initiated to UPOU. Two deans played an important role. And I'd like to recognize Yeye, who is here. Dean Pacifico Ike Payawal was the first to invite me to teach the laboratory part of a UPOU biology course that he was handling. Then Dean June Buot, when he became the FMDS Dean in 2010, he invited me to consider moving to UPOU from UPLB. On November 2011, I officially became an FMDS faculty. I agonized about moving to a different organization at a time when I was already 50 years old, with a stable teaching position and completely happy with the mix of people in my division. Coming to UPOU was a great leap of faith, and I do not regret this decision. The FMDS has been my home for the past 13 years and has given me much professional growth and personal satisfaction since I came here from UPLB. For those of you who are not too familiar with the FMDS, I would like to briefly describe who we are and what we do. We recognize the roles and efforts of the deans, faculty, both core, affiliate, and lecturers, the research and administrative support staff over the years who have collectively pitched in to make it what it is today. Allow me to just briefly cite some key milestones achieved by FMDS. The number, not yet. The number of FMDS faculty from diverse expertise specializations has doubled. We now have an associate in arts, in digital entrepreneurship, and a Doctor of Sustainability program. In addition, we have 10 certificate, diploma, master's programs, 12 continuing programs on environment, health and social development, and entrepreneurship, 10 massive open online courses on ODEL, project and RD management, social entrepreneurship, child rights and protection, and resilience, 21 micro-credential courses on the environment, entrepreneurship, health and social development, and nursing education. We also have research grants funding from international, national, and local funding agencies and government organizations, and local, national, and international collaborations and partnerships. These are just some of the key FMDS achievements that we have reached through our collective efforts that I would like to spotlight. But I am mindful that there are many others that I have not mentioned. While we have achieved all these and more, there were major challenges. The 2019 COVID pandemic upturned our processes, usual ways of working, and faculty connections. Sadly, too, we lost one of our staff to the pandemic. Through the years, my work, both inside the university and outside, have been greatly influenced by a simple phrase: begin with the end in mind. With this, life has taught me that at the end of the day, the change in the outcomes we achieve are the ones that matter the most. Together with this, I come with a deep appreciation of the power of collective strength, recognizing that the FMDS faculty has a unique potential as a multidisciplinary powerhouse with such rich diversity. I am committed to strengthening this core by cultivating and supporting greater synergy among and within the faculty, supporting academic excellence and innovation, and driving impactful research and community engagement. Having said all this, please allow me to share my ideas and vision for the FMDS, which I truly hope will also become our shared vision until 2028. If given the opportunity to lead the Faculty of Management and Development Studies as a dean, I intend to put emphasis on 3 key strategic priorities that are aligned with UP President Angelo A. Jimenez flagship programs. Hang on. Okay. Ba't wala dito sa kabila? Okay na yan. Teka muna. Sandali lang po. Sandali lamang po. Medyo ninenervyos ako. Saan na ba yun? Hindi pa to eh. Yeah, I know. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So, the outcomes I envision are briefly described. Okay, so what are the 3 outcomes? So we have academic excellence, we have research and innovation, and the last one is public service. So first, let's go to academic excellence or instruction. So the stature and credibility of FMDS in ODEL is bolstered. A strong, cohesive, and empowered faculty with the relevant expertise that enables us to be responsive to the current and emergent needs of society. An enabling environment for FMDS faculty to attain and sustain teaching excellence. And lastly, faculty and staff morale, cohesion, well-being, and productivity are boosted. Now, for research and innovation, enabling environment for FMDS faculty to achieve greater opportunities for creativity, research, and collaboration. Networking and resource mobilization to enhance teaching, research, and professional growth of FMDS faculty. Support for human capacity development and strategic investments to drive greater adoption by the faculty of innovative learning technologies. And for public service and extension, an improved and efficient learning management systems that will enable FMDS to achieve considerable reach and scale. An effective delivery and management system for micro-credential courses is established for training and lifelong learning. Strong investment of FMDS human resources to impact-focused and measurable external or community development programs. How can we achieve these outcomes? How do we get there? I would like to use these 3 pillars, and they are easy to remember. So, what are these 3 pillars? So, we have people, we have programs, and we have processes. As you see in this diagram, they are very much linked together. So, first and foremost and central to all these are the people. This means investing time, effort, and resources to create spaces and opportunities to further strengthen the bonds between the faculty, to include affiliate faculty and lecturers. We need to look and ensure the wellness and well-being of the faculty, research, and administrative staff. Quoting from Tom Mullins, an author of a book on servant leadership, he said, "Celebrating your people demonstrates that you value them and you acknowledge their part in making the victory possible." Simply put, your people need to feel valued and affirmed by their leader. Now let's look at the programs. Okay. For the programs, it is crucial that we maintain regular mechanisms to review and recalibrate, if necessary, our programs so that we as a faculty continue to be relevant and responsive to the needs of our clients and stakeholders. We keep abreast with rapid developing technologies and innovations that, according to Stefania Giannini, the UNESCO Assistant Director General for Education, to unlock the promise of digital opportunities for all, we must steer technology in education on our terms, guided by the principles of inclusion, equity, quality, and accessibility. Research and public service are 2 of the important functions of the faculty in addition to instruction. As we are all aware, our performance and promotion are based on these. We must look at ways of securing funding for research by our faculty, especially for our younger faculty, to enable them to engage in meaningful research and build their capacity to publish. Mentoring needs to be strongly encouraged. Lastly, we continue our public service to the university and the broader society through the continuing education programs and the massive open online courses. However, we must consider our limited human capacity vis-a-vis our desire to reach as many learners as possible. Now for the processes. We need to work together to maintain an environment of collegiality and good communication in order to build a stronger relationship between and among FMDS faculty and staff. We promote participation and cultivate a sense of ownership for the work we do. We encourage collaboration and networking and establish productive partnerships without losing sight of our shared objectives. We foster an environment where everyone feels responsible and accountable. Critical systems and platforms are the vital backbone of our work. We need to ensure that these are sustainable, functional, and effective. Finally, I wish to share with you a useful phrase that has often helped me in both my personal as well as professional choices, which I hope you will also share with me. Is this really important? Or is it just nice to have? In real terms, this means, number one, keeping focus and setting our sights on results or outcomes. And number 2, keeping focus on what we, working together, are best at doing as we move toward our shared objectives. Together with the core principles that drive us as a university, this, my dear colleagues, is what I wish to offer you if I am given the honor to serve as your dean. I have deeply pondered and reflected on the immense responsibility that comes with accepting this challenge. Let me share with you a small, seemingly insignificant incident that happened to me just after I agreed to this nomination. I was in a government office, and while waiting for my papers, a young man in a white t-shirt sat near me. I glanced at what he wore, and on his shirt was emblazoned the words, "We lead to serve." I thought to myself, how uncanny is this? But in a strange way, I suddenly felt at peace with the decision I just made. So today, I am here to offer you my service. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc Connie. So we will reserve our questions and our comments on our presentation in our Q&A portion later. So thanks, Doc Connie, for sharing your 3 priorities and also the framework on how to achieve the different outcomes through people, program, and processes. Our second nominee is an academic and social work professional with a doctorate in professional studies from University of Southern Queensland, a master's in social work from the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and a magna cum laude bachelor's in social work in UP Diliman also. She is an award-winning faculty member at the University of the Philippines Open University, where she has held multiple leadership roles, including Director of the Office of Gender Concerns and Program Chair of Social Work. She has contributed extensively to social work education, public service, and gender advocacy, recognized through numerous awards, including the 2024 GAWA Dean for Outstanding Senior Faculty. She is actively involved in national and international technical working groups, publications, and community development projects, focusing on sustainability, child protection, and social work standards. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you Associate Professor Dr. Fina Flor Tailan.
Thank you, Dr. Au, for that gracious introduction. I'll just have to set this up first. Can I be seen? Yeah, because, I'm not too tall. As instructed, I need to share my screen. Good day, everyone. As mentioned and introduced by Dr. Au as the chair of the search committee, I'm Fina Flor F. Tailan. I really love to introduce myself with that. I'm a social worker by profession and an associate professor, a faculty member, and the current program chair, as mentioned, of the Diploma and Master of Social Work programs under the FMDS. I am also grateful for having been trusted to lead some of the major offices and work at the university level of UPOU as the current director of the Office of Gender Concerns since its establishment in 2014, although I was out for quite a while because of study leave, and currently also serving as the Program Development Associate for NSTP and also the Extension Program of the university under the Office of the Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, among others. Medyo madami kasi. It is my honor and pleasure to be with you today to share with you my vision and plans for FMDS if given the opportunity to serve at its dean. With the 2 nomination letters for me for the deanship that reached me, I'm really overwhelmed, honestly, by the huge support. It was really unexpected. That's not part of my script here, but I want to say that. Thus, I want to start this presentation by thanking our colleagues for the nomination, the program chairs of the various programs of FMDS, the secretary to the faculty, regular faculty members and alumni and lecturers from various FMDS programs, including retired professor from UP Diliman, and of course, those who know and do the daily grind in FMDS, our academic and administrative staff. I thank you all for your trust to lead our FMDS. Over the years, in my more than a decade being and working in and with FMDS UPOU, my journey has been productive and immensely rewarding at the same time, challenging. I have seen and experienced how FMDS has evolved, thrived, and made an impact on the academic community, industry, in the UP community, and the public in general. My interdisciplinary engagements, my previous roles within FMDS, including serving as Program Development Associate for Faculty Records, a role that has now evolved into Secretary to the Faculty, as well as chairing and serving as a member of numerous FMDS and UPOU committees and task forces, have provided me with grounded experiences and meaningful engagements that have allowed me to gain professional and administrative insights, observe and lead best practices, and learn valuable lessons from you, our colleagues, and from all our stakeholders. The impactful framework of open and distance e-learning, central to the ethos and values of UP Open University and FMDS, has furthered enhanced my perspective and approach to higher education. All these have shaped the development of a vision and plans for FMDS, carefully developed and studied, one that reflects our collective journey and shared aspirations for the future. My vision for FMDS is entitled Propelling Growth in the Faculty of Management and Development Studies, or FMDS. As you know it already, as this was emailed to you in toto in our email list. No? The phrase propelling growth emphasizes action towards sustained progress, grounded aspirations, and continuous engagement. The phrase also reflects an intentional focus and forward thinking on fostering continuity from both the successes and lessons from previous programs and initiatives, optimizing their impact and continually evolving, while staying rooted and committed to core values of FMDS and the UPOU. As what we always hear, we need to OUFI. And if I may add, let's make it FMDS-FI. Growth actually represents the following concepts: grounding professionalism and integrity, reinforcing innovation with interdisciplinary synergy, optimizing sustainability and ODEL, or open distance e-learning, weaving participatory leadership, transforming communities through engagement and service, and lastly, honoring excellence as a tradition. These are the same guiding principles of the vision, which I also hope the FMDS members and stakeholders can resonate with and imbibe as seen in the presentation. The guiding principles are as follows: creativity and innovation, interdisciplinarity, professionalism and integrity, participation and collaboration, excellence, and sustainability and open distance e-learning. In the interest of time, I will not anymore dwell on each of this, but you have a copy of this through our email. Propelling growth also conveys a meaningful and inclusive vision focused on advancing scholarly endeavors while fostering a well-rounded, holistic approach to Faculty of Studies management for development. Growth also intends to achieve a multidimensional growth through programs that are based on and responsive to the evolving demands of the academic environment, consistent and aligned with UPOU's nature and directions, and the changing needs of the communities and larger society. Thus, my vision statement is also guided by the mentioned principles and key concepts. A responsive FMDS dedicated to fostering continued growth by grounding professionalism and integrity in every action, reinforcing innovation through interdisciplinary synergy, optimizing sustainability and ODEL, weaving participatory leadership into the fabric of progress individually and as an organization, transforming communities through engagement and service, and honoring excellence as a tradition of the past and a goal for the future. As the primary strategy, propelling growth in FMDS will be facilitated through operationalizing the current FMDS research and public service agenda, community inclusivity, digital transformation, and acceleration towards sustainability, or CIDAS, within the tri-function and administration of FMDS, and would be referred to as CIDAS 2.0. CIDAS 2.0 hopes to show how this agenda is mainstreamed and weaved within the teaching, research, service, and even in administration and management functions in FMDS, emphasizing the interconnections of these functions in bringing the vision into life. It hopes to streamline the strategies from its first 3 years of implementation, while observing and learning from its effects, possible impact, and points for improvement, highlighting the growth principles in FMDS moving forward. Specifically, propelling growth in FMDS will be described through the following 4 specific aspirations and specific strategies and indicators. I actually changed my term from targets to aspirations. So first, aspiration is on the improved teaching and learning strategies and outcomes. As teaching is the source and cause, as well as the output of everything we do in the university, we must ensure to improve and sustain access to knowledge and its co-creation by strengthening academic programs and our systems of teaching. Strategies under this area include the following: regular review of programs using quality assurance standards set by the UPOU or UP system and other bodies such as the Professional Regulation Commission, Commission on Higher Education, AAOU, and industry and community needs. This is to ensure that our programs are of quality considering all the criteria set and are relevant and compliant to standards both as a higher education institution and ODEL University. The role of our program chairs and faculty members would be crucial here. It is also important to ensure that our programs and our academic processes are guided by our university policies, while these practices and processes are written and communicated properly to stakeholders. Thus, we intend to utilize and communicate teaching and learning guidelines, such as the program manuals, for each of our academic programs for compliance, as well as to facilitate feedbacking about their relevance and usefulness within our ODEL framework. This also includes our OJT, practicum, or fieldwork manuals. Examples of how integration of sustainability, gender equality, diversity, and social inclusion, and other development goals in our courses would be helpful as well. Similar to how we in the Office of Gender Concerns provided a gender sensitivity course review checklist for our UP courses that is being used in FMDS as of the moment. We also plan to conduct teaching-specific studies such as tracer study, market analysis, student support needs research, UPOU pathways, team teaching, among others. Though this is a research activity, there would be a direct effect of this on teaching, ensuring that feedback of our stakeholders on our teaching practices and effects inform our decisions. The FMDS is very fortunate to have various disciplines under one roof. And in the context of sustainability and development, we as professionals, including our disciplines, are interconnected and should help complement each other to produce well-rounded programs and, of course, graduates. Thus, we hope to explore interdisciplinarity in our academic programs. I am excited to see how this will enhance our programs, especially its offerings content-wise, respecting their niches, while maximizing possible alignment, collaboration, and technology sharing. For example, the DLUP program can help our SW, Social Work and Women and Development, in their planning and management subjects, while the Social Work program can help DLUP in ensuring a rights-based and community-driven plans development that will benefit the communities and plans beyond compliance to laws. Our MAN and MNE alike within the international health framework and vice versa, among others. Of course, these are ideas. The program chairs would be consulted and will be part of the whole process on this, given their expertise in their fields, and would have a huge role in this aspect. Given that the major stakeholders in our university and the greatest measure of our success or failure are our students, we have various strategies that are focused on them and their needs. Improving student engagement is one area that is really close to my heart and try to facilitate as well as program chair and as OGC director. We intend to strengthen student support, which at the program level will be led by the program chair, and at the faculty level through the student support staff. Collaboration with the UPOU level units and resources would also help in this regard, such as with the library, Office of Student Affairs, OGC, among others. We hope to address the concerns of students and even faculty members in the access of resources that would help them thrive and not just survive. We also intend to facilitate regular student-focused conferences, drawn from their needs and interests, such as webinars, research colloquia, or socialization activities. We hope to reach more students and address their academic and non-academic needs, which still affect their academic performance and possibly their graduation. In line with the directions of the university and our principle on openness and flexibility, that we should have various pathways and affordances in our programs for our stakeholders to make use of and maximize, we also plan to continue to explore and implement responsive teaching or program offering strategies and approaches, such as micro-credentials aligned with our academic programs. We already made a lot of strides on this, such as for the MNE, DWD, and the program that I chair, Social Work program. The first micro-credential, if I may share, that UPOU explored in 2023. The plans for our other academic programs are also underway. Our accreditation as CPD provider by PRC for our 3 programs, the LUP, MAN, and Social Work, would also very much help in this regard. We hope that this will help in our program marketing as well. As our faculty in charge, or FICs, are our soldiers, if I may, in our teaching and learning journey, we intend to ensure collaboration with them through conduct of timely faculty conferences based on trends and their competency needs, such as on ODEL, teaching strategies, course and class management, through research fora, webinars, and Feeding Mind series on emerging issues and topics. But this should be based on sound training needs assessment. And lastly, for this area, we hope to implement a system for timely offering and supportive monitoring of courses and class management to be led by the program chairs with the help of instruction support staff. This will help ensure that our programs and courses are managed well for the benefit of our students, while also providing support to our FICs or faculty in charge in this aspect. Our instruction staff and teaching-related committees will help in this regard. As our indicators that we are able to achieve this first aspiration, these are what we hope to see. And in the interest of time, I will not be able to discuss them all, but please have a look at these indicators that we hope to see. My second aspiration for FMDS is to have a strengthened system for knowledge creation, management, and sharing. Research will facilitate and inform strategies towards improved outputs for both teaching and public service, facilitating praxis or theory and practice with reflective learning. First, we plan to continue to implement research initiatives on disciplinal, ODEL, and interdisciplinary areas with the help of research groups and research laboratory, such as our current laboratory or research group, the FMDS Policy, Innovation, and Learning Laboratory for Sustainability, or PILS, with adherence, of course, to ethical standards as guided by our existing ethical board in the faculty and the university. To assist our faculty and staff and even students for our research endeavors with mentoring in mind, hoping to cultivate further the research culture and improve our research productivity, we plan to provide dedicated research writing and collaboration time for our faculty and staff on a regular basis. To better communicate our research ideas and outputs, we plan to continue conducting research conferences participated by faculty, staff, students, alumni, community, industry, and other stakeholders regularly. Our FMDS academic events such as International Symposium on Asian Studies, International Forum on Sustainability Studies, and our LTIOs and Feeding Minds can be the venue for this. But these need to be made more accessible and be planned more strategically. In terms of publication, we also plan to continue timely issuance of our in-house publication, the JMDS, or Journal of Management and Development Studies, and our UPOU journal, IJODEL, and other current and future dissemination platforms through expanding participation of researchers and collaborators. Our current research repository, such as Upload, is hoped to be regularly updated within us in FMDS and be made more accessible and communicated to all stakeholders so that this would be used appropriately. These activities under this area will be supported by our research and ethics committees and research support staff. And again, these are the indicators under this area. In the interest of time, I will not be able to discuss this in a very detailed manner. My third aspiration is to have a sustained community engagement and collaborations in public service programs. I am very delighted to see that service is written now side by side with honor and excellence in our UP logo as espoused by our current president, Jimenez. Community and public are seen as a major stakeholder in the university and of course in FMDS, while UPOU's history of establishment was for public service. Thus, mainstreaming our community engagement is highly necessary. We hope to achieve this aspiration through the following strategies. First, we will continue to implement responsive, non-formal courses and continuing education courses. We will also strengthen the offering of relevant MOOCs, or massive open online courses. We will have a rapid review of our offering and see how we can streamline and improve this to ensure their responsiveness and alignment to the agenda and public needs. I am happy to share that I develop and manage 4 massive open online courses, year in, year out, free and accessible by the public, one of which has garnered around 18,000 learners per offering. Thus, I know that these kinds of endeavors are really in demand and address particular competency and development needs of our society. And possibly, a community of practice of completers of MOOCs can also be created to continue knowledge sharing and collaboration, just like the one that we made for the gender sensitivity training MOOC, which we manage in OGC. We also plan to enhance the system for offering public service programs for multiple pathways through CPD accreditation and offering of micro-credential courses. Though this has been discussed in the teaching area, we are also highlighting the public service area of this initiative, addressing the need for skills-based, bite-sized, and responsive courses that may be linked to formal courses as part of the QA system in the higher education internationally. We also plan to develop a strategic program to offering LTIO sessions and other relevant capacity building initiatives accessible to the public that can also support our teaching initiatives when made available and recorded as learning resources. We hope to enhance our collaboration with partners from various fields and communities through conduct of community-based projects and other activities that are aligned with the faculty's trust and will support its initiatives. Our existing programs under this area, such as youth and children empowerment and others, can be reviewed and planned strategically to ensure their timeliness and relevance to all parties while maximizing their community impacts. This also aligns with our forged partnerships with various organizations, such as those which have been initiated with the programs that I manage, such as the DSWD Academy, the OSTP Card, Philippine Statistics Authority, and Civil Service Commission, and even at the international level. And see how these partnerships advance the FMDS and UPOU's reputation and impact in the map of higher education and public service, especially in ODEL and disciplines. Finally, for this area, we plan to explore ways to enhance these relationships with our alumni through collaborative programs and review of the existing alumni structure and program in FMDS. Our Public Service Committee and support staff will be mobilized to lead in this public service area. And again, these are the indicators under this area. And in the interest of time, I will have to move on for the last, but I think one of the more important items I want to share. I hope to create an effective quality administrative support systems. I can say that this part will be the backbone and facilitator for the mentioned aspirations to be achieved. And as an administrator, like that of a role of a dean, the dean should really look into this matter. And as a matter of principle, I consider people, including their talents and potentials, to be the most important resource in an organization and its unit. Thus, they are a core consideration and result of our administrative and management staff. So under this area, these are the strategies. To strengthen existing structures and pathways for the timely and responsive management of the faculty with the capital letter F, including its functions and concerns. I intend to see how our committees, such as the Executive Committee, Management Committees, and Standing Committees, and the meetings can be maximized or streamlined to ensure that our initiatives and operations are implemented as planned and are monitored and evaluated. Guidebooks for each of these committees would also be developed to inform their processes and action, including monitoring and evaluation tools. I also intend to create an annual faculty or FMDS plan and FMDS development plan, which includes faculty development plan and capacity development agenda, which will inform our decisions in FMDS in terms of priority activities and deliverables, the number of faculty and staff needed, career plans of our faculty and staff members, capacity building needs, and the like, for a specific period of time to ensure planfulness. As time and focus are needed to deliver our crucial tasks, I also intend to provide dedicated time for crucial functions and administrative tasks such as course preparation, grade computation, updating of records and reports, among others, on a regular basis and will be scheduled strategically. To also help in the day-to-day operations and management of tasks in FMDS, we will explore new and expand the existing use of our innovative management tools such as Airtable, Workspace, and others which we can explore further. The well-being of personnel is a crucial component as professional self is the best tool that we can have. I would like to thank my social work background for that. Thus, I intend to strengthen the FMDS well-being program, which is Mind Matters, to ensure its responsiveness and wider reach. Very consistent with our existing Sustainability in Action Living Laboratory Campus, or SILC, I also intend to continue and explore more sustainability practices and institute policies and systems to support this, such as aligned with our existing activities already, like permagarden, waste analysis, and characterization study, among others. We will also continue the fair and transparent evaluation and recognition system for faculty and staff and other members of the community. Within this strategy, we will also make our GAWAD FMDS an annual recognition event which started in December last year. This hopes to improve the morale of our colleagues while cultivating a culture of excellence and professionalism. I also intend to continue the conduct of regular management meetings and faculty conferences, including sectoral consultations. This will help in the regular feedbacking and in making our initiatives more relevant and responsive to our stakeholders' needs and concerns, similar to what we did in the Office of Gender Concerns. Lastly, under this area, we intend to do periodic reporting of the state of FMDS and monitoring and review of our plans, management system, and processes for positive changes, including advocacy work in proper platform whenever necessary, within transparency, accountability, and sense of responsibility principles. Indicators for this area can be seen in the presentation. To conclude, propelling growth in FMDS emphasizes a commitment, both as a goal and process, to nurturing members and stakeholders' professional, intellectual, and personal growth, ensuring that management and development initiatives are not solely focused on academic metrics, but they are very important as well, but also on enhancing the overall well-being, collaboration, and innovation, inspiring a culture of striving for higher standards and integrity. With these goals and strategies in mind, we aim for a seamless transition in FMDS, ensuring that its progress and remarkable achievements of existing initiatives remain uninterrupted, while introducing necessary changes to ensure FMDS as part of UPOU continues to lead in open and distance e-learning and professional disciplines in the Philippines and even internationally. Over and beyond propelling growth in FMDS is seen to contribute to the UPOU's mission and flagship programs of the UP system, where UPOU contributes and leads, particularly UP Vinta, ODEL, and digital transformation, and supports the enabling policies such as RA 10650 and the broader national and the global development goals. Thank you for allowing me to share my intention to journey with you to propel growth in FMDS. As on a final note, photos were taken from the public photos shared by FMDS and UPOU on our website and other platforms. Maraming salamat, Padayon.
Thank you, Doc Fina, for sharing with us your vision for propelling growth in FMDS and also for sharing your 4 aspirations for the faculty office. So at this time, I'd like to call in front our 2 very worthy and sincere nominees, okay, for FMDS deanship. We would like to invite you to come in front because we're going to start our question and answer portion. I would also like to thank them for keeping to time. Okay, so they did not reach the 30 minutes. So maraming salamat po. So I think we have enough time for questions both on-site and then online. Okay, so all questions that will be asked online will be read by Professor Helisan, and then those who are going to ask questions here for on-site participants, you can just raise your hand and we will bring you a microphone, okay, so that you can ask your questions live. Or you can also write your questions on pieces of paper distributed earlier if you want to ask our committee members to ask the questions for you. Okay? So maybe we can start from questions here at the AVR, kung meron pong tanong. If there are none, actually we already have some questions, okay, so collected earlier. So you are Liz, you can ask the first question for our nominees.
Good afternoon, everyone. So we'll read the question based on alphabetical order based on your name. So the first question is for Doc Connie. In 2022, you ran as dean but withdrew at the last minute. As decisiveness is a key quality of effective leadership, Could you share the reasons behind your decision at that time? What changed your mind since then that motivates you to run again?
You can ask your question, Doc Connie. Has some concerns or issues about that particular question. So next question na lang po.
So this is also for Doc Connie. We already have Ascend, the LMS platform for UPOU's micro-credentials. Can you expound on what needs to be done to accomplish the efficient delivery and management system for micro-credentials? Considering that LMS development and maintenance are the responsibilities of ICTDO and not primarily of the faculty office except for inputs.
Okay. Thank you for that question. I am aware that all the micro-credential courses are posted in Ascend. It doesn't mean that FMDS is only in charge of content because FMDS role is also to manage how the courses would be delivered. I mean, the FIC is in charge of taking care of how the course will be delivered. So I think the FMDS here, when it says that it will have this so many micro-credentials, we should be responsible enough to make sure that all those courses have been delivered properly. So hindi pa pwedeng content or ano lang, input lang yung FMDS doon. So I believe that the quality circle from the offering until the end of the offering should be also a responsibility of FMDS, not only of the DIC ICTADO. Thank you.
Question for Dr. Thailand. Leadership can take many forms, but do you believe that physical presence plays an important role in ensuring effectiveness? If so, considering that the office of FMDS is in LB, do you have plans to be based here to actively engage with and manage the staff and the faculty members?
And thank you for the question. As I am doing right now, and even previously, last year, when I came back from study leave, I've been staying here. In fact, I stayed there last night. I stayed here. And I plan to stay until Wednesday. So in short, it shouldn't be a problem. I'm happy that the university actually has our AR headquarters, which facilitate that physical presence. Although I would like to also say that physical presence, of course, it is important, no? But there are other forms of monitoring. But to answer the question, yeah, I've been doing it already here. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you. Meron pa po bang question? Yes, Prof. Liz.
Marami na pong questions. So ito, for both nominees, the current dean presented an overwhelming number of accomplishments by FMDS as presented last Friday. Can you name any specific contributions you have done in those? Kahit sino po.
Okay, for the MOOC, I form part of the writer for course writing for the modules for the disaster. So that was one thing that I did for the MOOC, and I also did some what do you call this ano nga ba yun yung sa TVUP. Ewan ko kung nasama yun. Yung with Attorney Gabby Concepcion, yung we cooked some food and then na televise yun, I mean sa TVUP. So these are just some. And of course, as a regular faculty, I am a FMDS faculty, so I've been teaching courses here since I arrived in 2014. So I've been teaching and managing the Master of Environment and Natural Resources Management program. And also I've been teaching DSUS courses. So that's part of the outputs or achievements of Dean Joanne.
Okay. First, as the program chair of the Diploma in Master of Social Work, I'm happy to say that we have increased our enrollment, and which was the problem that was posted on me when I entered UPOU day 1 or day -1 because that was one of the areas that were asked of me really by the then Dean Jun Buod. And we have made a huge mark already in the social work education in the Philippines. As a matter of fact, we are seen as, looking into the credibility of our social work education side by side with our counterpart from the other campus which is offering it. And the partnerships that we have built throughout the years was a huge part of that, like our current engagement with the DSW, the Academy, which is a major industry partner and a major industry in the gamut of social welfare and development in the Philippines and even at the ASEAN level. And at the ASEAN level, I'm also part of various initiatives, carrying with me, of course, the name of FMDS and UPOU. Part of it is the micro-credential. As I mentioned, the social work, the social welfare development perspectives, etc. Course title is one of the first micro-credential which we explored. The chancellor was even there in 2023, when we were discussing with the officials of the SWD, and finally we were able to have it approved at the University Council, 2 micro-credentials. In relation to to that micro-credential, we also is just waiting for a formal partnership with the Civil Service Commission. And we know if the Civil Service Commission is looking at us, I mean, that's a huge, huge impact for us, as we are seen by the major, not just a major, it's the Civil Service Commission. So I'm happy to be part of that endeavor as well, still on micro-credential and even massive open online courses. And just being seen, not just me, but even Dean Joanne and our other colleagues who were invited as well in their various initiatives in their HR leaders symposia year in, year out. So I'm happy that we are we have made a mark really on that aspect. If I may just have another. I'm happy also that we are also seen at the Professional Regulation Commission. UPOU is, I'm not saying that we were not seen before, but we are really being looked at as one of the standards for higher education, especially in ODEL, and I'm happy to be part of the team. I'm not saying I'm the one, or I'm not the only one. We are a team, you know, but I'm just happy that I'm part of the processes involved. Alongside with the other partnerships that we have, UNICEF, the OST, etc. And of course, the reports of Ding Joan about public service initiatives, research, and the manuals, the templates, they may seem very minute, but they are really important in the day-to-day effectiveness of our program. So we are part of that process. So yeah, I have many other things to say, but yeah, let's maybe move on to the next question. Thank you.
Yeah, let's take siguro ask questions from the live audience here because most of them are from FMDS. Dr. Uruga? Live.
Na live. Yeah. I'm just concerned with the health. You see, the demographics of FMDS is extreme already towards the age of the, maturity to young ones. Okay, and we've been experiencing burnout and stress, actually. Okay, how I know Minds Matter that Doc Joanne initiated is a very good program. However, I think the effectiveness should translate into us. And sa akin din siya nag-translate eh. Anyway, how do you address that as the dean? Yung stress and burnout.
Just to ibahin naman yung nagbato-ba topic na kami kanina. Nagkatinginan na. As mentioned in the presentation, no, I plan to review the various programs that we have, both the academic programs and even the public service and even in the research, because a lot of our many projects or initiatives are in those areas, no, public service and even research conference in terms of conferences and academic events. And from there, I hope to streamline these projects, see where we make great impact, and see where how we plot them in relation to yung sa timeliness. No? That's why one of my key plan is to develop an FMDS annual plan so that we could be able to plan already. Of course, planning should be done ahead of time so that we would also look into and consider our carrying capacity in relation to how many resources that we have in terms of human resources and of course time. Plus, I mentioned I presented it a while ago, I intend to provide a dedicated time for crucial functions scheduled strategically, like course preparation, grade submission or grade computation, and even research period, no, for mentoring and writing. And I hope these initiatives would be able to help us take care of ourselves more, become more mindful of what we can do and what we cannot do, and what we can prioritize. Yun, marami akong nilagay doon sa administrative part. So sa annual plan, I think it should help us with that, given yung monitoring and the evaluation tool as well. Yeah.
I think I mentioned this in my talk. I said we need to review and recalibrate. So for the programs, so I'm not just talking about one, but all of them.
Doc Connie and Doc Fina. So questions from here at AVR? Any other questions? Because if there is none, We will call again Prof. Elisan because she has a lot of papers with her. So may mga questions na na-submit. Okay. Sige. Prof. Liz.
Okay, this question is also addressed to the two nominees. So, bato-bato, pick na lang po ulit. Okay, what significant changes or new initiatives should the FMDS community expect under your leadership compared to the current administration? How will these changes enhance the overall experience and contributions of everyone in the faculty?
Mabilis kami mag-usap ni Doc Connie. Maya-maya, ikaw din. Ikaw naman. As mentioned, I think having an annual FMDS plan would help us out, no, in plotting what we need to do in various areas, teaching, research, and public service. Though I know we already have a sort of that, but I think having a grand plan, ano. And just like I mentioned also, having a dedicated time for research and other functions, to have a more focused time, to do that, will be expected. No? I mean, it's part of what I wrote, detailed as that, because I really intend to do that. I'm not sure, I'm not in the proper authority to say this, but I will just describe myself. No, I'm a person who is very cooperative, very diplomatic. Though before I wasn't not so conscious about this, but when I read the nomination letters for me, for the deanship, I thought that, oh, that's how they see me. So that must be how I am. So that could be one area in terms of providing a climate of cooperation, medyo mas light. Sabi nila doon sa nomination letter, I make heavy work feel light. Okay, so baka ganon, no? I intend to do that, not consciously, but because that's my personality. But serious on the outcomes, on the outputs, because when kahit saan naman ako dalhin na office or kahit anong klaseng role yung ibigay sa akin, nag-deliver naman tayo. So kahit light yung mood and cooperative and diplomatic yung gusto nating relation. So I feel I am going towards that direction as a leader. So yun muna siguro.
Ang sagot ko naman doon ay, if you recall what I said earlier, I said that we need to come up with a shared vision, diba? So it's something that we need to craft together. It's not just me, saying, oh, this is a good idea. We need to sit down, all of us, on a table, discuss things, and identify which of these activities or programs you want to participate in, and so you can have ownership over it.
More questions from you, Liz?
Yes. Another question from our online viewer, Dr. Villanueva. For the two nominees again, since you have worked together within the FMDS for quite some time, could you tell us about the top 3 skill set which make your co-nominee the best fit dean to implement their concrete plans in the next 3 years?
Pang Miss Universe na tanong.
Paano ba sasabihin? Tinitingnan ko lang si... Well, she just said it, that hard work is made light. Okay? That's Fina.
Ang usapan namin, tag-iisa daw muna. Tapos ibabato ko ulit sa kanya. Since she said, no, she has 40 years of experience, not just in UPOU, but in UP. So, yeah, that's a good, not a skill, but from there, that experience, for sure, she was able to draw many skills from that.
Okay, I can say also that she knows how to multitask. I mean, balance between family and work.
Magla-love team na ako ni Doc Connie. Because I would like to say the same thing. Yeah, I feel that she can also multitask. Because from our personal conversations, she's very hands-on also to her family, to her business even. And of course, merong tayong task dito sa office. So I guess that's also a skill set for a dean which she holds.
Well, I guess her being a social worker already says a lot, di ba? Not everybody's cut out to be a social worker. So you need to have the heart to be a social worker.
Malapit na ako maiyak, Doc Connie, talaga. Thank you for that. And I will also say the same, not you as a social worker, but sure, tagal mo itong alam. Kasi medyo magkalapit lang kami, not ng edad, pero yung pagkapunta dito sa OU, konting months lang tayo, magkakasabay tayo nila, magkakasunod tayo nila, Doc Au. Yung nung time kasi yun, nag-uusap kami about yung profession. Hanga kasi ako sa mga nasa hard sciences. Because I lack that part. But I'm happy na, masaya ako na yung environment, discipline niya, at kuhang-kuha niya yung respeto ko sa pagiging advocate niya patungkol doon. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good question. Thank you to Dr. Villanueva. Si Doc Aleta ba yun?
Si Doc Aleta.
So, yeah. More questions. We have, it's only 2:52, so matatapos tayo ng 3:30 unless there are no more questions, then we can end early. But we have a lot, yeah, from the back. Yes. Sige, si UR na yung maganda. But if there are questions from here at the AVR, just raise your hand.
Okay. Another question for both the nominees. So, what new programs do you plan to institute? And then, follow ko na yung related question from a Facebook viewer. Do you have any plans to offer Master of Land Use Planning?
I feel that the current programs of FMDS really talk and cover about human rights, no, and social justice. And I feel that during this period, kailangan natin siya. So, gusto ko siyang explore, but of course, in consultation with the various stakeholders that we have. I'm not sure whether there is an existing, I don't know. I think there's none. In the UP system of the very least, siguro social work and community development yung medyo close doon, or social development. Pero I feel lang na baka mukhang kailangan siyang ibalik yung pag-unawa natin ng maayos about human rights and social justice, and how do we translate that into a profession really, because it is, and it should be a cross-cutting competency set for all professions. Yun yung isa. Master of Land Use Planning. Alam ko, from recent conversations na pinag-uusapan, that can be a possibility. Though, titingnan natin kung ano yung hinahanap ng PRC din. Sa pagkakaalam ko, hindi naman kailangan Master of of Land Use Planning yung hinahanap, pero may kailangang tweaking dun sa current curriculum natin. That's why I know that the current program chair of the LUP is looking into that in consultation, of course, with the standards set by PRC. But that can be one area that we can consider, especially given the demand land use planners, environmental planners in the Philippines. And not just the demand in terms of law, pero kailangan kasi talaga siya. And then just like what I mentioned about interdisciplinarity kanina, sana hindi lang yung part na technical planning, kundi yung humane and just planning, community-based, community responsive. So yan. Thank you sa nagtanong, Doc Connie.
As I said, it should be a shared vision. So titignan muna natin what is our human capacity, where are our expertise. Like right now, I see health and international health and nursing as pwede natin maging parang mga banner programs, and all the rest will support it. And why do I say this, no? Kasi remember, we just went through a COVID-19 pandemic. If I ask you now, are you prepared or are we prepared for the next one? Diba? So maybe it's about time that we think about this and look at these two programs, health and nursing, with the other programs together, and maybe come up with something that we can use in order to address the next pandemic. Now, for the land use, again, we need to look at our resources. Where is our capacity? Will we be able to develop courses as required by law or as required by our clients? So we need to ask people, our clients, our other external stakeholders, whether they need this master's program.
Thank you.
Hello. Another academic-related question, this time from Dr. Bagarinao. Before, there were requests to separate health programs from FMDS and create its own identity in the university. If the same request will be raised during your term, will you consider it? If not, why not?
Tinitigan ako ni Doc Connie, syempre. Pinag-iisipan din kasi yan, especially that we just came from the FMDS 20th anniversary, so napabalik tanaw tayo para sa mga umattend doon. Ganun doon. No? My answer there is, we may need to go back kung bakit pinagsama sila. Kasi for sure merong dahilan at yun siguro yung magandang balikan, and if those reasons are still currently being experienced still, no, yung pa rin yung current na situation. Yung mga ganitong bold decisions really necessitate a lot of reflecting and consultation, not just consultation, pero talagang pagtitingin, reflect, introspection, no, sa atin. Ano ba yung pros and cons if we are to divide the two or have a separate faculty of studies. Hindi lang sa FMDS. Social systems tells us that we need to look into, of course, the bigger picture of this, and in terms of resources, ano din yung magiging implications nito sa buong university. Yun. Feeling ko, hindi ko pa masyadong nararamdaman ng matindi yung interdisciplinarity, if I may. So, gusto ko muna siyang makita ng ganon. Pero maganda rin naman syempre with all due respect to the niches of the health professions. Ayan. So, balik tayo sa introspection, reflection, at yun, pag-aaral mula sa market, mula sa industry, mula sa community needs, at yun nga, dun sa mas na resource part ng university. Kaya ba ng UPOU, for example, magkaroon ng 4 faculty of studies? So malaking bagay yun kasi maliit lang tayong campus. Tapos going beyond pa, kaya ba tayong i-support din ng UP system with that? So yung mga ganong aspeto, kailangan ng nitty-gritty studies. Thank you.
Magkakwento ako. I remember si Dean Edelwina Legaspi when she was the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. There was this clamor to separate the sciences from the arts. No? And she refused. So people were wondering, ba't kaya tumanggi si Dean Legaspi na imbis na paghiwalayin, magkasama? Sabi niya kasi, pag hiniwalay mo ang science, malalaglag ang arts. So, it was just like, a support, no? Support yung science for the arts and vice versa. So, ganun din yung tingin ko ngayon dito sa FMDS, no? With health and nursing, no? Kaya na ba nilang tumayo on their own? Or pag humiwalay ba sila, anong mangyayari dun sa naiwan? 'Di ba? So, yun yung mga kailangang pag-usapan.
Again, for both nominees, from Elsie Cancina Besina, a student under MAS, do you have specific plans of action for students of FMDS to encourage community building?
Nakalagay po siya, thank you for the question first. Nakalagay po siya doon sa plans and vision na pinresent ko and submitted to the search committee. I have at least 2 na, tama ba? Na sila talaga, no? Strengthening student support and student-focused conferences, not just academic or content-wise program-specific na student conferences. Pero kasama po doon ang community building socialization. Though may 2 nakalagay doon, all the other teaching programs or strategies that are mentioned in the vision and plans that I presented, sila naman yung talagang ime-measure nun. Kasi gaya na nabanggit ko kanina, students talaga yung major measurement ng performance natin as a university. The kind of graduates that we have, and even yung enrollment. Though the question is on community building, napansin rin kasi natin sa mga existing nating, sa previous years din natin, and karanasan din natin as program chair, at kahit nung PDA pa ako sa faculty records, napaka-importante sa estudyante ng community building, no, ng socialization. So, importanteng mabigyan talaga siya ng diin. At yung previous na student orientation natin at yung ilang initiatives natin on, for example, developing group chat, that can be a start and we need to expand those. Baka kailangan talagang magkaroon ng mas malaki or location-based na mga activities for students, depende kung ano yung profile nila. So that's part, so to conclude my answer, that's part of the vision and plans that were presented a while ago.
Since you are a MAS student, Master of Asian Studies yan, no? Yung community building, nakikita ko nga, dapat kasama yung ASEAN eh. So if we can explore yung inter-country type of community building, I think we can do that.
Doc Connie and Doc Fina. So may questions pa, you are, mga ilang questions pa po yan na naandyan sa atin.
5 more
questions. Yeah, so we can just continue with it. Yeah, mukhang wala naman ditong tanong from our audience here. DVR. Okay, sige, para may break lang po si Sir Larry.
Para break lang. Actually, hindi na sana magka-question kasi nakita ko yung sa dami. Anyway, 3 points lang. 1, I would like to congratulate the 2 nominees for the very good presentation, plans and vision for the FMDS. Nakita ko nga, parang, ano yan, sabi ni Dean last time, to do more, kaya parang more pa rin yung nakita ko. Bigla ko natakot. Secondly, I would like to thank both nominees for taking on the challenge. Why? Because kung hindi nyo tinake yung challenge, may extend yung ating search. Just like the FICS. Anyway, just kidding aside, yung the third one, siguro yung number one, parang inano ko kasi yung question ko into three, parang pre, during, tsaka post. For the pre, yung pre-deanship, my question is, what was your greatest motivation on taking on the challenge? Although narinig ko na indirectly yung mga sagot, I would like to hear it in the Q&A portion. Secondly, dun sa during, if given a chance to be the next dean of FMDS, what would be your banner program? Hindi na yun. Nakita ko na rin naman yung in terms of instruction, very clear instruction, research, public service, and a little of admin, and you focus on the people, both of you, merong people component. Reality shows, however, na there's really limited human staff complement. Okay, that's the problem. And nabanggit ko to during the presentation na we've been doing a lot and nakaka-deliver naman tayo. Kaya lang yung nagiging norm nga is kaya naman, so go on. This time around, parang iniisip ko talagang yung heavy, there should be a focus on resource mobilization, resource generation. And during the last presentation din, nabanggit ko, API is one of the sources. Si Chancellor nun umiiling, sabi ko baka pwedeng madagdag. Sabi, wala talagang dagdag. So with that reality na walang dagdag on API, what other sources kaya yung pwede nating takbuhan in terms of staff complement, given na ganyan pa rin yung karami ng mga plans and programs na gagawin nyo for the next 3 years. And the last one, yung the post one, given the chance to be the dean, tapos after yung deanship nyo, how would you like to be remembered? O kaya ano yung legacy nyo? Kasi that would help dun sa ginagawa natin na every year na ano yung contribution ng mga dean for the last 3 years. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, may negotiation pa kami kung sinong unang sasagot. Okay lang naman. So, nilista ko lang kung ano yung tanong ni Sir Larry. 3 kasi, para lang maalala ko. So, what's my motivation? I was called to serve. At feeling ko as a social worker, I need to heed that call. Bigla naging seryoso, no? But yeah, it was a serious, consideration. Yun. At usually naman, whenever there's the call to serve, kahit sa anong capacity ako hinihingian ng university and even sa community, social work man o hindi, pag nakikita ko na I can contribute at nakikita ko rin yung support at alam ko din na kaya ko at salamat sa pagpaparealize din na kaya ko. I mean, marami rin kasing pagkakataon na, may mga doubts. Siguro kasi ako yung tipo ng tao, if I may just share, ako yung tipo ng tao, pag binigyan ng trabaho, seryoso kasi ako. Hindi lang minsan halata. Pero, kita kasi ng mga tao, very light lang ako. Pero, sineseryoso ko talaga siya. Like this one. Sineryoso ko siya. As early as May, naggagawa ako ng plans. That's how serious I am. Nag-study, tiningnan ang mga iba't ibang aspeto, tiningnan yung public needs, no? And nakita natin, may pwede tayong magawa. May pwede tayong maipagpatuloy. And ang crucial din kasi nung time ngayon, na marami tayong nakita, syempre magagandang nasimulan, nanghihinayang ako na hindi siya mapagpatuloy. Though maganda naman talaga din yung sinasabi ni Sir Larry, which I also feel the same. That's why part of the plan is to streamline. When you say streamline, let's see which of this can be merged, which of this can be set aside muna, but can be done after 6 months siguro, the next 1 year. So that's yung planfulness yung binabanggit ko kanina, no? As part of the administrative area na strategy. Yung second question, sir, on sources ng resources. Source. Very important, no, yung carrying capacity natin as people and yung financial din. marami tayong sources sa UP system din, and of course yung ating UPOU budget. I think malaking bagay din yung nakukuha din natin from partnerships. Masaya lang din tayo na meron tayong naipapasok ding partnerships, no? Recently. So hopefully nakakadagdag at makakadagdag pa tayo ng more if given that chance. Kasama sa plan ng nilagay ko doon ang patungkol sa advocacy work. Bilang social worker tayo, kasama lagi yon, no, na sa appropriate platforms, gagawin natin ang advocacy work when we see the need to, like in the various platforms that we have, sa AAC for example, sa CAC, sa kung saan, for example, sa kung meron tayong area for sa UP system na area. Ayun. So, yun yung mga possibilities. And I think if we are able to generate yung ano din natin as a faculty, no, as a whole, at makita natin na alin ba dito, pag nagpa-plan tayo, alin ba dito yung mga possible pang sources of our resources na hindi pa natin natatap. Kasi feeling ko meron pa. Kasi marami pang underway. Pero trabaho uli siya. Ganun naman. Para makakuha tayo ng pera, I mean, kailangan natin siyang pagtrabahuhan. So it's a matter of, hindi ko minamaliit, pero strategizing as well, no? Paano din natin mas multipurpose yung mga projects din natin, no? Lastly, legacy. Ang hirap sagutin nito, no? Though feeling ko makakatulong sa akin yung iiwan kong trabaho sa OGC. Not because kung magiging din ako, pero yes, yun. Pero dahil magtatapos din naman yung appointment ko sa OGC sa February. I've been there for a long time. Sinasabi nila na malaki daw yung legacy maiiwan. Ako, hindi to galing sa akin kasi I feel na yung pag-define ng legacy should come from the community. Siguro similar, no? May mga initiatives tayo na sa tingin natin innovative, first time in UPOU, like community of practice ng MOOC completers, sectoral consultations, GST MOOC, well, hindi naman siya bago sa ng UP, pero at maliban dun, or more importantly, feeling ko yung given yung personality ko din at yung priority, yung how you mobilize people so that they could harness their potential and you work with them cooperatively. Ba't ko sinasabi yun? Kasi feeling ko, well, they always say, when you are the leader, you need to provide the direction. Totoo yun. Feeling ko lang kailangan lang i-put into proper perspective and context din yung part na yun. Sa UPOU kasi, and even lalo na sa FMDS, maliit lang kasi tayo. When you are a leader or a dean at that, hindi ka lang dapat leader na you're giving direction. You should be there, working with the staff, working with all people. You should be a doer, side by side with them, at hindi ka lang tagabigay ng utos. Ito yung kailangan. And I think, and I hope that will be my legacy na iiwan sa FMDS after 3 years. Grabe yung legacy tanong. Pero salamat doon, ang ganda nagre-reflect. Thank you.
Motivation, parehas ako ng sagot kay Doc Fina. Yun, yung call to serve, I think I mentioned that during my presentation, no? Yung something that struck me as we lead to serve. So again, I'd like to focus on the word we, not I. Okay? So it's going to be a collective thing. Ano pa? Legacy. Sources. Well, I think that's one of the things that when I saw the announcement for the search, nakalagay talaga doon ay looking for funds, no? So of course, each of us would have our own networks. I would have my own networks, and I would actively, search for funds from my network. Okay, and also rally behind all the faculty who can, do proposals, Yun yung kailangan gawin, di ba? And dito papasok yung mentoring. So, kaming mga senior, ako lalo na, we can mentor the younger faculty and we can, come up with a proposal that we can submit to funding agencies. So that would be a source of funds. Legacy. Ano ba legacy ko? Okay. Parang mahirap sagutin, tama yung sabi ni Doc Fina, mahirap sagutin yung legacy because it's not something that you think about, because it's other people who think about ano yung legacy nitong tao na to, no? It's not something that you wish that you yung iniisip mo na kagad na ito yung magiging legacy ko. And so that's not how it works. Kaya parang ano bang legacy ni Trump? Okay? Balik tayo kay Trump. So, yun yung sagot ko doon.
Thank you, Doc Connie. Could we sift through the questions, you are Liz, because we are running out of time. It's 3:15. Finally, we are running out of time. So we can also give the questions to the nominees, and they can answer it, especially if we know who asked the questions. So they have the option to answer it and then to respond to the questions, and then babalik na lang natin dun sa mga nagtanong. And yeah, we have room for one last question, and then let's hear from parting words from our nominees just to conclude the event. Short lang, okay, para matapos na yung ating public forum today, and then I can give some announcements and we can have our snacks. Okay, so you are Liz.
Another question for the two nominees. Given the shift to a function-based support COS to address inconsistencies in processes and workload, do you plan to maintain the current system or adopt a new one?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. And as I said during my talk, these are some of the things that we need to review and recalibrate. So I cannot answer you right now because, as I said, it's a shared vision. It's something that we need to work together.
Nag-automatic yata siya. Okay. 3 years na na-implement yung function-based support staff. Tama na kailangan talagang evaluate what were our wins in the change of approach in the management side, so that we would know if the purposes and the goals of that shift was achieved. Though onset, like you are asking me now or us, I would say I would still maintain that. Nakakatakot sabihin yun, kasi maraming may ayaw, Pero yeah, I feel na yun yung kailangan pa. Parang feeling ko hindi pa tayo ready uli na magkaroon ng support staff pa. Dahil wala pa, given the current resources na meron tayo. Kasi yung mga na gawa currently na mga manuals, templates, these need to be implemented. Sayang naman kung nasa library lang natin siya. Kung nasa repository lang natin siya, and it will become a legacy na lang na nakagawa po tayo ng manual, nakagawa tayo ng template. Pero yung pag-implement nun, pag-mainstream nun, integrate nun sa bawat system, I think the program, the function-based RAs, or whatever, however we would like to call them, the support staff would be still instrumental. Ayun na niya sa akin yan. But I think we need to have a wider role of the faculty members and the program chairs on that direction. Parang kumbaga, face na tayo. Kaya nga CDAS 2.0 yung aking operationalization. Yung malaki na yung role dapat, no, ng program chairs on how the various guidelines and manuals were developed para masigurado natin na hindi sayang yung napakagagandang efforts na nangyari. Yeah.
With that, we would like to thank everybody who participated, both online and on-site. So maraming salamat po sa ating lahat. Hindi na kayo magbibigay ng marami nang nasabi. Okay, so we can skip with that. Magbibigay na lang po ako ng announcement for the very important step in the search process, which will happen tomorrow. Okay? This is the multi-sectoral consultations, which will start from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock for the faculty members. So our venue, physical venue, will be at the Office of the Chancellor Conference Room. And then some of you who would like to join online, we can also accommodate you. Please give your request to us. If you want to say something but you cannot come here at HQ. So we have also a dedicated Zoom link, okay, for those who will be asking their questions or giving their insights remotely. So 9 to 11, that would be for the faculty members. And then for the reps and admin staff, from 11 o'clock to 12:30, same room, OC conference room, and then there's also a Zoom link. Okay. Then we have also, by the way, I announced last time na merong food, okay, pero wala pong food na ipoprovide. Okay, lalo na lunchtime ito for the reps and then the staff. But we will have coffee and some cookies siguro. Okay, and then so hindi provided ang lunch. We have for our students, we also invited the students via the University Student Council. So hopefully they will also participate. So from 1 o'clock to 2:30 naman sila. Okay? Same setup po for all sectors. And then lastly, we have for alumni, for the RAs and TAs and other sectoral representatives from 2:30 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So all of it tomorrow. Okay? And then, pagdating ng 4 o'clock, 4 to 5:30, we're going to have the interview with the nominees. Okay? So we will once again invite both nominees to participate, okay, in this particular activity. Okay? And after tomorrow, the next important dates would be February 6. This is the preparation of the search committee report. And then on February 7, our target is to be able to submit the report to the UPOU Chancellor. Okay? So if you have no more questions, pasalamatan po muli natin ang ating mga nominees. Okay? Thank you, Doc Connie and Doc Fina. Maraming salamat po. Even now, we thank you for your generosity of self and your courage to, sabi nyo nga kanina, heed the call. Okay? So thank you also to my co-committee members, Chancellor Mel, Dean Jo, for coming here to support this activity. Maraming salamat po.